So think about this for a second. How would you organize all of human knowledge for a young mind? It's a huge question, right? Well, today we're going to explore a really remarkable attempt to do just that by taking a deep dive into one single incredible book. I mean, really, could one book explain everything? The universe, history, science, art, the whole shebang? It sounds kind of impossible, doesn't it? Well, check this out. This is the DK Children's Encyclopedia, and its subtitle does not mess around. It literally says, "The book that explains everything." Now, that is a bold claim, so we're going to spend the next few minutes digging into how on earth it even tries to pull that off. Okay, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to tackle that crazy promise of explaining everything. Then, we'll see how it builds its foundation, using a simple A to Z structure. After that, we'll get into the real genius of it, how it creates a trail of curiosity. Then, we'll see how it connects all those little facts to the big picture. And finally, we'll step back and think about what this kind of knowledge by design really means. First up, a book that explains everything? Yeah, let's unpack that promise. So if you had this massive job of explaining everything, where would you even begin? Well, that brings us to the book's foundation, a simple but really powerful A to Z system. At its heart, the whole thing is built on a classic A to Z system. You know, Africa to zoo. And that's kind of brilliant because it gives you two ways in. You can look up something specific you're curious about, like dinosaurs, or you can just flip it open to a random page and start exploring. And this is where it starts to get really cool. Just by putting things in alphabetical order, you get these wonderful, unexpected neighbors. You've got atoms right next to Aztecs and arts. A little later, it's coding, comets, and computers. It forces you to see just how wide-ranging and interconnected everything is, which is fascinating all by itself. All right, so to really get how this works, let's go from that 30,000-foot view right down to a single page. We're going to use this one on amphibians as our example. And this is such a perfect illustration of the book's clarity. You know that classic kid question, right? What's the difference between a frog and a toad? Well, instead of some long, boring paragraph, you just get this. Boom. Frogs, wet, smooth skin. Toads, dry, bumpy skin. It's direct, it's visual, and you'll actually remember it. Okay, but here's the thing. That whole A to Z structure, that's just the surface. The real genius is this hidden layer, this trail of curiosity that it encourages you to follow. And it does this with two super simple but really powerful tools, a clever color coding system and this little thing called the See Also box. So first, check out these colorful icons you see at the top and bottom of the pages. It's a subtle design trick, but it's so smart. Each color stands for one of 9 subject areas. So turquoise for nature, or yellow for art. It's like a little visual GPS, so you always have a sense of what knowledge neighborhood you're in. And then you've got this, the See Also box. This is the real game changer. This is what turns the book from just a list of topics into a true web of knowledge. So let's try it out. You're on the amphibians page, right? Your eye catches that box, and it points you to metamorphosis. You flip over there, and bam, suddenly you're looking at this incredible illustration of a frog's life cycle. You just followed the breadcrumbs of your own curiosity. And that's the whole point, isn't it? This thing isn't meant to be read cover to cover like a story. It's designed to be explored like a map. It's not just a pile of facts. It's a network of interconnected ideas. And it's inviting you to be the explorer. Okay, so we've seen the individual facts and the little trails that connect them. But how does it all add up to the big picture? Well, that's where synthesis comes in. One of the coolest ways it does this is with these special pages called the Story Of. Now, these aren't in the A to Z section. They're these amazing deep dives that pull together information from all over the book, from history, science, culture, to look at one big idea from all sides. Things like the story of storytelling or the story of energy. Another thing it does incredibly well is play with scale. So on one hand, it can zoom way, way in and give you this incredibly rich, detailed look at one specific group, like reptiles, for example, showing you all the different types, their characteristics, how they live. But then on another page, it can zoom all the way out and show you the entire tree of life. And just like that, you see exactly where reptiles fit into the grand scheme of things, how they're connected to amphibians, birds, and even us. It's all about providing that crucial context. Okay, so all of this amazing structure, this careful planning, it all leads us to our final big idea, knowledge by design.
The publisher's tagline for this is a world of ideas. And I think that word world is just perfect because that's what this is. It's not a random feed of facts you get from scrolling online. It's a curated, intentionally constructed world of information designed to be explored, not just passively consumed.
And that leaves us with a big question to chew on, doesn't it? In our age of endless, fragmented scrolling where content is just fed to us by algorithms, what is the power of something like this? A finite, intentionally and beautifully designed world of knowledge. What's the value in that today? It's really something to think about.